Recently, I received a text message on my phone, and it said something like this on the heading: "We would like to express our thanks." Now, this is a number that I didn't recognize, but it was really nice to hear that somebody wanted to thank me for something that I did, and I was honestly very interested. No, I didn't press the link for my own personal reasons. I didn't want spam, but it definitely caught my attention. We want to be thanked. We want to be acknowledged. We want to be appreciated. However, it's interesting. We don't like to thank. It's hard to thank. I feel vulnerable when I thank. Why do I need to thank? It's such a simple thing that somebody did, especially our spouse. Why do I need to thank him? Why do we have a hard time thanking our husbands? Is it because if I thank him for something simple, he'll stop doing other things? Or he's not even going to try to do other things because I'm just happy with lower standards? Do I not thank because my expectations are on a certain level and I don't want to set my expectations on that level, so I don't want to thank? We're married and we have certain roles that we play in the marriage, certain responsibilities that we each take care of. It's a given. He's going to do it. I'm going to do it. Why do I need to thank? Why do we have a hard time thanking? We don't want to be vulnerable to someone. It's hard to thank. We're putting ourselves in a position where we depend on somebody else, where we depend on our spouse. We don't feel appreciated. Why do I have to appreciate him when I do so much? I don't get appreciated. I don't get thanked. Why do I need to thank him? We may feel. Now, gratitude is actually magical. We are going to appreciate the insights of Laura Doyle's book, The Empowered Wife, on the attitude of gratitude and how it can transform a good marriage to an incredibly intimate, great marriage. Gratitude is incredibly powerful. Why? It recognizes what already exists. Nothing else needs to be done. It's already there. It exists. And it's a recognition of what exists. Nothing else needs to happen. It is acknowledgement of the good. Now, the attitude of gratitude is actually the most powerful skill and intimacy skill that Laura Doyle teaches. It's so powerful in the marriage. It actually gets us to get what we want from our husband. It's a very magical and powerful way. Now, if you're not convinced, keep listening and you'll see that from everything that you've heard, I have a suggestion for you. Just try it. Experiment with gratitude and you will reap the benefits of a marriage that you didn't know could blossom to become more intimate, more connected, and happier. The attitude of gratitude is when we take stock of the good that we have in our lives. Whatever that exists, we take stock of it, we acknowledge it. You become a better version of yourself when you're grateful. You're your best self. Now, we all want to be better people. We all want to see ourselves in a better light because honestly, we are our worst enemy. Our Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, is always telling us that we're not good enough. So in order for you to be the best version of yourself, constantly be grateful for yourself, for other people, especially your spouse. One of the most common complaints that Laura Doyle hears from men is, my wife doesn't appreciate the things that I do. Now, you're at work. There's many other people who are doing the job that you do. However, if you get acknowledgement from your employer, your principal, your boss, the head of a company, the CEO, you are going to become so much better at your job. You're going to want to perform better, gain more expertise in your field. Even though there's so many other people doing your job, you want you want to become even better because you are recognized, you are noticed. So for a man, it means so much more. Why? Because he's your world. He wants to be your hero. He wants to be everything to you. And if you acknowledge the littlest thing that he does, he's going to naturally want to do more. It's a powerful secret. But we are afraid to be grateful. We're afraid to be grateful because we think that if we won't, that we won't get what we want. And if we won't get what we want, um, if we appreciate something that doesn't meet our expectations. So if I appreciate the littlest thing that I do, that my husband does, the littlest thing, then he won't do more for me. These are going to be the expectations. If I'm always grateful for the trash being taken out, then he'll do it even less times because I'm so grateful. And that's not true. We think that our husband will stop doing more for us because we are happy with the smallest favor and he's going to rely even more on us. And that's also not true. Another fallacy is that we think that since we're married, there are certain expectations and roles that each of us play. And hey, you have to pay the bills and you have to vacuum and you have to take out the trash, you have to sort out the recycling, and you have to. It's an expectation. Who else is going to do it? Yes, we do have roles that we play, but the attitude of gratitude is actually going to make us do it with joy. And for our husbands, it means much more to them because they have this ego. If a man doesn't have an ego, he's not a man. And men have different levels of ego, but if a man does not feel respected for anything that he did and criticized in the littlest way, it means the world to him. She's like, "Oh, you're not respecting me. Why are you talking like that?" You're like, "I just talk like this right now. It's just like I'm just stressed." And no, why are you talking like that right now? Why? Why are you raising your voice? I did this and you're not grateful. And most men feel that why do more for my wife when she doesn't really appreciate what I do? And we constantly have to fill up our love tank with our marriage tank with a lot of gratitude and appreciation because it's a very delicate um, approach to our marriage. It really makes the marriage and enhances it and puts it on a whole new level. So we do so much around the house. We do the laundry, we do the cooking, we do the cleaning, we do the shopping, we do the prepping and the planning, and we manage the home. And we never thanked. First of all, let me tell you, ladies, we do so much more. Why? Because a woman is incredibly prone to do a lot of things that are detailed, and those details aren't noticed. In Judaism, we know that the woman came from Chava, came from the rib. So because she came from the rib, she's more internal. The more modest the woman is, and the more internal she is, really, this is really her essence. So we do a lot of things that aren't noticed. Raising a child, it's not noticed. Um, how the house is clean, but you know how much detail it took in order to clean that house, or how much time it took and energy and effort to prepare a meal. There's so much things in it. There's so much prep work in it. Most of what the woman does is unseen. So ladies, we have to learn how to appreciate ourselves, because if we appreciate ourselves, we're not going to seek appreciation, especially from our husbands and other people. So it's hard for us also to thank our husbands because we are afraid of correcting him, or we are probably going to criticize him, or we will probably complain. He folds the laundry the wrong way, or when he folds the laundry, it's all wrinkled. A lot of the clothes are wrinkled. So my suggestion is set yourself up for success. So if you have a basket of laundry that he said he'll fold, first of all, be so grateful that he's folding. Second of all, remove the clothes that you don't want wrinkled and just leave the laundry bin for the clothes that you're probably not going to hang up. And you're setting yourself up for success. You're setting yourself up for happiness, that you'll be grateful that whichever way he folded. So, of course, we do not want to correct him. So you can say, oh, I can be grateful, but I still want to correct him. I still want things done my way. It's like saying, I'm going to be grateful, I'm still going to criticize. It hurts the man a lot to be corrected. So what one thing you can do if you want things done your way is when you catch him doing something good, you know, catch someone doing something good. It's something you hear in a classroom with children, like it's like a positive reinforcement kind of thing. But it works in the marriage, it works everywhere. So when your husband does hang up your shirt and you see it in your closet and it's so nice, look, honey, wow, I really love how you hung up my shirt. It's not wrinkled. Thank you so much. So basically, he understood that it's not wrinkled. He loves you, you appreciate, you acknowledge it. You're actually telling him how you like it done, but you're not criticizing. So you catch him constantly doing good. The truth of the matter is, unless you're doing everything yourself, you're not going to get everything done the way you want it to. It's just the way it is. But a woman who wants everything done her way is probably going to be extremely exhausted, stressed, and overwhelmed and edgy. Who wants to be around such a person? Yes, everything is done her way, but she's really not happy and she's very stressed and she expects a lot of appreciation, which nobody really knows exactly how much effort she put in anyway. So let's save ourselves that trouble of trying to constantly show the world how much we do, because nobody's really going to know. That's just the essence of a woman. So you're either one out of three things. One out of three ways that you approach gratitude. Now, there's three ways or three options. So, option number one is that you are constantly grateful for everything that everybody does. In this case, your husband, everything he does, you're grateful. You're not correcting, you're grateful for what exists. Option number two is you're grateful, but you also criticize. Now, when you're grateful and you also criticize, your husband doesn't hear the gratitude, he hears the criticism. So we want to just be grateful. It's not true gratitude if you criticize. It does. You're saying, I'm grateful, but I wish things were different. You're just grateful. Option number three is you just take over everything. You don't do anything. I'm sorry, your husband doesn't do anything for you that you like, so you just take over everything. You just do everything your way. You know, everything will be your way. As we said earlier, it's exhausting. It's a really exhausting job. So it's up to us to how to choose to approach the attitude of gratitude. The spouse fulfilling prophecy. Spouse fulfilling prophecy is you actually create your own world by perceiving it a certain way. If you find yourself focused on complaining about something your husband does that gets on your nerves, consider creating a spouse fulfilling prophecy to affirm what you want to experience instead. For example, let's say your husband's in a bad mood. Instead of saying, you're always grumpy, and maybe he is often grumpy, we can say, you're usually in a good mood. Now, it may feel dishonest. It may feel fake. Fake it till you make it, because he hears and he sees his wife. Wow, she sees me that I'm usually in a good mood, or that she wants me to be in a good mood. That's what he hears. And he's going to want to be in a better mood next time. So the way we color our words, the way we bring them forth, the way we express ourselves is truly our perception of the world. Our perspective changes depending on what we focus on. If we focus on what we lack, that's what we create. If we focus on gratitude, we get more for what we're thankful for. Your perception of your spouse may seem very real, but they actually start with your own view of the world, which is the only thing you have control over. Choose your focus wisely. May we merit to create an attitude of gratitude that is alive in our marriage. Leah Abramov, Being and Becoming.